We are live. Welcome to my video. This is going to be my thoughts on Andor, Season 2, Episode 2, Sagrona, Teema. And the episode is rated, okay, you can't see, probably TV-14. Certainly this video will be. Like all other videos I've done on the show, absolutely love this episode. There will be spoilers for everything Star Wars leading up to and including this episode. Haven't watched Episode 3 of the season yet. I know it's out. We'll get to it. I'm thinking Monday. Holy crap. They continue to really bring it. I thought the episode did a fantastic job really making clear, or underlining, it was made clear in the season opener, Cass is gonna have to get away from these, this group. Like, there's no hope for working with them, so just, great tension as he's, trying to eye an opening, and, and these very realistic little conflicts, do we have enough food? I'm not eating moldy food. I'd rather be hungry than sick. And, the thing about, you can't live on those melons, and, let's see, the, arguing over, what was it that killed, what did you find? Yeah, about that. But yeah, by the end of the episode, looks like it was that Star Wars dinosaur thing that ate her, which, that's why they haven't heard from her, and it wasn't that one of the others betrayed her or let her down or something. I suppose it's possible, but, what could they have done against the dinosaur? And, let's see. I suppose that does more or less cover the, right, the thing about Cass making sure he gets water, at one point he's, like, lying there, and it's dripping down from, like, the hole in the roof of the thing, and he's, and some of it goes on his cheek. It's like, he can't use his hands to, like, wipe it off, and, like, it, and there's a point where there's a little bit of water in the bottom of, well, more than a little bit, but there's some water in the bottom of this container, and he's, like, lying there, drinking it, and he points out somebody should probably get a tarp. It can't rain all the time, and the fact that they didn't even think about that, no, not one of them. There's, like, I don't know, half a dozen people in there, and they're not talking about water conservation, they're not talking about setting up a perimeter, and the moment that Cass says set up a perimeter, the guy's like, I was just about to do that, this is the kind, this is a teachable moment, my dude. That's when you say, he's right, we gotta do that, do you have other suggestions? Because, like, clearly Cass is trying to help, but this guy, it's the male fragility. It's so frustrating. I swear, there is nothing in the Star Wars galaxy or anywhere else, not in the infinite multiverse, there is no substance as frail as the male ego. And yes, I do include myself in that. I try to be better, but sometimes, just, he can't just accept help, like, he's willing to acknowledge, okay, that's a good idea, but it has to be his idea, just ridiculous. There's the 5 hands. What does that mean? A total submission. And then they do the Star Wars, or maybe just local equivalent of, like, rock, paper, scissors. That's how they're gonna find out who's gonna be in charge. Just completely, ridiculous. Let's see. Really, really tense when he does, he picks the exact right moment, he activates the thing, gets the gun, gets the other guy to drop his gun, ties him up, gets the little thing, runs around. He ends up shooting the one person who was still inside the experimental TIE fighter, the proto-TIE fighter. TIE fighter? Something like that. And, You know, there really was no other way. Again, we're seeing he's willing to shoot someone on his own side if he's like, you're in my way, sir. And that is going to make it difficult for them to be willing to work with him. And we see by the end of the episode, that was Yavin 4. That's where they build the base. Yeah, he might have to work with them again. That's going to be very, very tense. Let's see. Unless they seriously mature between now and then. And even then, it's a lot to forgive. Let's see. Not a ton of Dedra this episode, but what we got was great. Yeah, you know, she's like, you know, I realize this is important for the Emperor and Krennic, but I just don't know. I don't want to work with, you know, I get it has natural resources that we want. There's a propaganda campaign all set to go. I don't want to be part of taking Greenland. I mean, Gorman, was it called? Or is that the people? Anyway. And you know, yeah, her supervisor, he's just like, so he offered the job, right? Congratulations on getting the job. You know, there's no saying no to a fascist. If the fascist has enough power, you know, plain and simple. And yeah, I like the detail that she's listening to this like kind of opera, you know, upper class kind of thing. And I guess she is now living with. I'm trying to make sure I get the name, if it even says it on the. Okay, it's got to be under here. I think I know his name, but just to make absolute, yeah, Cyril Karn. You know, it looks like they're living together. Her and the little Imperial imp cell. And the thing that, you know, I thought if I really took my time with shopping, you wouldn't be here when I got back. We can't keep postponing this. So tomorrow then, that kind of sounds like postponing, but okay. They said they can't cancel it again. Does that, so, you know, because the moment that he said the words, maybe you'd be gone by the time I got back, I wanted to avoid this. I thought, is this like a serving divorce papers situation? But canceling, I guess it could still be. This isn't the first time she's meeting his mom, is it? I know the relationship between him and his mom is tense. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. I think that is everything. Right. About Dedra. I mean, I did quite like Cyril. You know. Yeah, he memorized the speech. Of course he did, and he gives the exact same speech. And you know, the thing about, you know, after months of hard looking, finally, I gave up and I realized there's better uses for my time. I don't know. Yeah, he apparently found some thing, and yeah, I like the little thing, you know, the fresh-faced cadet is like, you know, which I don't know if that means that he's just precious or if it actually is. I mean, because he said 4 sectors, but 4 out of how many? If he had said 4 quadrants, I'd be like, okay, wow, impressive. But yeah, I don't know why I'm saying that. You know, a quarter is 25. You can't even buy boots with 25. But the let's see, what was the other thing? With Cyril. But yeah, you know, this thing of him discovering, yeah, that's him all over. I think that does cover them. I did just briefly want to say, you know, they replayed part of the scene with Krennic, you know, giving the big monologue, and you know, yeah, I 100% agree with his assessment of the scene. No notes. That leaves the whole thing with the wedding, and there's a lot going on. Oh, right, and also Bix and the others. Yeah, okay, I gotta talk. So, holy crap, the tension. I love, because at first it's like, what's that up there? I think it's a ship. Well, what is it? It moves people from place to place, but that's not important right now. I'm glad that eventually they explain about 600, because the first 500 hours? No, wait, no, they're talking about it now like it's a place, and then they say 600 block. Oh, okay, they have like they've numbered instead of named the different parts of this place. Makes sense. Quite appreciate, in general, I think a lot of Star Wars media is really, really good. The official stuff is really good at explaining just enough that you can follow it. But yeah, the Imperials arrive, and there's just the tension, and Basso is standing there, accidentally putting things in the wrong spot. I know he's not actually, it's a joke. But I don't know, sometimes people think I'm not joking when I think I'm making it obvious I'm joking. Anyway, but yeah, you could just tell the tension, because like they obviously can't show it. Like Basso would probably prefer to just get to run right out of there, but if an Imperial sees him doing that, that's gonna really, okay, he's hiding something, So wonderful. They're sneaking little glances when they feel confident that it won't be noticed, and these things. And then you have that one guy. Crap. I'm sorry. I cannot keep up with all these names anymore. I know he said it. Okay, I am not seeing a name that I recognize as his anywhere on the. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said his name to her, but yeah, he goes up to Bix, and I'm like, Fitty, I am not sure, is he actually flirting, or is he trying to find out? Because like the moment that he says, how would you like to be surrounded by Imperials in a place that you're not super familiar with and without any kind of support network, which you appear to have here, does that sound like your ideal date, or is that the 4th of May? Because like, yeah, on the one hand that could be a test, but on the other, I don't know. I mean, it's we know that throughout history, conquering forces have fallen in love with locals in the areas that they were conquering and colonizing and such. So yeah, genuinely, I did at times get like a vibe of, I think Tony Gilroy has watched Inglourious Bastards possibly more than once, because that really reminded me of that one particular part. And yeah, let's see, but yeah, also with her, like, she has to watch what she said. Oh, so I mean, you're a mechanic. You get around, don't you? Because it's like, is he saying, I don't think you're really from around here, but I want to gauge your reaction to me asking that before I come right out and say it, and yeah, and then he says, oh, because the city, and it just, yeah, I love the show so much, much. Right, and Basso coming to the rescue, and the thing with, I don't think my husband would approve. Husband, is he on, is he nearby? He's off planet at the moment. Does he worry about you? It's like, are you saying that you're going to be the cause of some concern? Is that what you're implying here? But then he follows it up with, because of the no contact thing, just these little, and she's so wonderfully careful. Worry about me? Can you add a little more detail, maybe? Just, yeah. Let's see. Then we have the because yeah, that is the thing. When she says she has a husband, and he's like, does he worry about you? Like, wait, does he know that this is Bix, that she's connected to Cass? Is he saying, you could be bait? How would you feel about that? You know, just so, yeah, amazing. Just all these little subtle things. Yeah, I'll just briefly say, great when we see, yeah, I'm sorry, Luthen's co-worker, you know, going back and, you know, yeah, getting on the horn. And I think we maybe saw it in season 1. I probably mentioned it there as well, but I do really love, you know, there's just enough, you know, security and so, like, you know, you can't open the door without the, you know, running the card through. Then you go in and you have to know where the different things are that you want to interact with in order to activate the communicator. It would take Imperials hours to find all of those things, and I'm thinking, if you force your way into the building, because, you know, if you don't have that card, you'd have to force your way in, there's some kind of, like, maybe it sends off some kind of siren. Maybe there even is like a self-destruct thing that, you know, it would be impossible to get ahead of, for if you don't know exactly where the different parts are. And like the siren, I'm not saying necessarily like local, but like Luthen and his co-worker have it. Oh, there we go, autofocus fixed it. I guess I'm moving around too much. It's not what my physical therapist says. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, they probably have devices that receive that signal, so they know, okay, we're busted, better, you know, stay away from there, and in fact get to a safe house. Yeah, I think that does cover. Is it terrible to want more of that soldier talking to Bix? Because that was an amazing, yeah, so freaking tense, so much going on there. Because, like, legit, dude might just be, like, attracted to her, you know, and think that she would be flattered because he's, what, you know, they run this place. This, you know, don't women love a man in uniform? You know, just, yeah. That just leaves the entire wedding. So many wonderful things there. I guess I'll start by saying, honestly, Mon's husband's speech, there were parts of it that were kind of sweet, you know? Like, there were also parts where it was like, okay, this guy's kind of awkward. He doesn't have the most riz. Is like, you know, I was half expecting, like, there to be shouts from the, you know, the people gathered. Get off the stage! You're not funny! But, let's see. Yeah, not... just briefly gonna talk Vel. It was kind of sweet that, you know, it feels like a very... Yeah, I really liked when Moth is like, so how's your friend, Cinta? She hasn't contacted me. Luthen knows. He's not telling me. If she wanted to see me, she'd come see me. You know, just like, yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen. I would like to see them back together, although, I mean, I don't know how many characters of this show are actually going to end up surviving the entire thing, because it is spun off from... It's a prequel to Rogue One. A lot of the new characters there did not make it through the entire... Wait, I guess no major character that was introduced in that movie actually survived it, did it? Good or bad. Yeah. So, you know, there's a certain chance that it's the only ones who will be left alive by the end of this show are the ones that are also in Rogue One. But yeah, they were sweet together, even if, I know, Sansa said, I'm a mirror. You know, you saw what you wanted to see in me. Let's see. But yeah, like, Mon trying to make it work between these two kids in this, you know, ridiculous galaxy of there is just, there's genuinely sweet. Like, I mean, it didn't feel tactical to me. It felt like she genuinely does care about, you know, she also, you know, she clearly does care if Leia is happy, for example. Let's see. I will say, when when they mentioned, oh, Tay, he had to be, you know, escorted out, or what, you know, he drank too much, he should know better. Like, at first I thought, wait, did someone, like, poison him or something? But no, he's still there. It's, you know, he does technically know better, but he's, you know, really desperate. You know, the money, losing his wife, all these things, you know. And yeah, Mon's husband claiming, you know, oh, he's your lover. And I like the thing with, you know, I don't know who we're talking about. It's a long day. Are we going to be passive-aggressive to each other the entire time? Let's see. You know, it's just like all the other clothes were in the wash. It was all he had to wear. Now, I think, but yeah, that is also, you know, yeah, that is what it would look like, you know. They certainly are talking a lot. And yeah, with, you know, Mon talks with Luthen, and this thing of, you know, she's like, oh, this is my husband giving a speech, I gotta go, and he's like, wait, just, you know, we gotta, and the thing with, you know, do you think he might talk to the other guy? And she's like, no, there's no way, you know, Tay wouldn't betray us like that. And we're gonna have to deal with this. Oh, I don't think he means, like, just, at least not limited to, just a friendly conversation. I'm pretty sure he means we might have to eliminate this guy. He is a threat to our operations, and nothing comes before our operations. And she's like, he's my friend. You know, this entire situation just, yeah. And they keep talking about, you know, was there a number? We're gonna find a number. And I'm like, I mean, can't you just, like, if you start with 0 and slowly count your way up, won't you eventually reach the number? I don't really understand. Yeah, I'm joking. Very, very tense scene. Yeah. That might just about... I like the little bit of, like, the you know, let's see, I think it was, yeah, when her father is giving the speech, Leia does, you know, at least one point, like, smile a little, you know, there is this, yeah, this thing of, you know, joy, you know, the hope of a happy marriage, you know. Yeah, I think that might actually cover... Right, incredibly tense when Tay actually goes up to Mon, like, you know, you've been ignoring my phone calls. And he lays it all out, and just her face, and it's this thing of, like, she can, you know, from a distance you can't see that she's in distress. And most of the other people in the room are at a distance from her, or not looking at her, or maybe behind her, so they can't see. But, you know, obviously she has to keep her composure, you know, as much as, yeah. So that was, holy crap. It really is. They were doing such a good job of making it clear this is still a very, very sensitive moment for the Resistance. You know, this is before the really big victory of A New Hope. You know, bringing, you know, all these things together in one movie. Yeah, holy crap. Yeah, I think that's everything. If I keep going for much longer, all I'm gonna be talking about is, I'm just gonna say I love the show over and over and over. It's just, wow. Yeah, I think that does... Right. Yeah, incredibly tense when we realize, oh, they're like trying to move the proto fighter so that the guns are aimed at the other ship where the other group is hiding, and it's like, Wow. Just, yeah. They do use centimeters in Star Wars. Awesome.